Welcome back to the War Table, Commander. In our previous campaign, we dissected the might of infantry, both the iron-willed heavy infantry, standing unbroken at the heart of your line, and the swift, cunning light infantry, striking from the shadows and flanking the enemy. You learned when to anchor your defense, and when to send wolves hunting in broken ground. But what if victory could be decided before swords ever clash? Today, we master the art of ranged warfare, where arrows, bolts, and stones break the enemy's spirit from afar before they reach your lines. Commanders, imagine a hush before battle, then a sudden whistle, overhead arrows blotting out the sun in a deadly black rain. These are not just men with bows, they are the architects of chaos, the ones who can break an enemy's resolve before a single sword is drawn. Archers are the silent hand that shapes the fate of every army, striking from afar with deadly precision. So, what is the role of archers on the battlefield? Archers are the silent rain of death troops, trained to unleash volleys of arrows that can thin enemy ranks, break morale, and force your foe to act rashly. Their presence makes every open approach a killing field. And where do archers shine brightest? Archers are at their deadliest on high ground, castle walls, or behind infantry lines, where they can shoot over allies and rain arrows onto packed enemy troops. Commander, what are their greatest strengths? Archers can inflict damage from a safe distance, harass advancing enemies, and disrupt formations before melee is joined. In sufficient numbers, they can even turn back a charge. But what are their weaknesses? Archers are vulnerable in close combat and easily scattered if cavalry or skirmishers close the distance. Rain, dense forests, or strong winds can also limit their effectiveness. Think, who do archers dominate? At range, they are deadly against heavy infantry, slow-moving troops, and morale-dependent units like war elephants. And who counters archers? Light cavalry, skirmishers, and terrain-savvy troops that can close the gap or ambush from cover will quickly break their line. Tell me, what's the best way to enhance archers? Place them on hills, towers, or behind shield walls for maximum protection and range. Pair them with scouts to spot targets and warn of threats. And where should you avoid deploying archers? Avoid sending them into dense forests, narrow streets, or anywhere they cannot draw a clear line of sight to the enemy. Now picture a different sound, the mechanical click of a winding lever, the thud of a heavy bolt. Here stand the crossbowmen, patient, disciplined, and unyielding. With every shot, they remind the enemy that no armor is truly safe, and that even the proudest knight can be brought low by a single pull of the trigger. Where archers rain arrows, crossbowmen punch holes through certainty itself. So what is the unique value of crossbowmen? Crossbowmen are the armor piercers, slower to fire than archers, but able to punch through the thickest shields and plate. And why use crossbowmen? They are essential for sieges and defensive battles, capable of targeting key enemy units or officers with lethal force. Commander, where do crossbowmen perform best? Station them atop fortress walls, in towers, or as part of a defensive line where they can reload in safety and pick their shots. Think, what are their key strengths? Crossbow bolts can pierce armor, and crossbowmen require less training than archers to be effective. Their psychological impact is powerful. Few enemies enjoy facing their deadly aim. Tell me, but what are their weaknesses? Crossbowmen have slow reload times and are heavy to move, making them vulnerable to flanking, cavalry charges, and chaotic battlefields. And who do they dominate? Crossbowmen are the bane of shield walls, heavy infantry, and even knights on the charge. Well, who poses a threat to them? Fast skirmishers and light cavalry can overwhelm crossbowmen before they reload or reposition. Commander, how do you enhance crossbowmen? Give them protection, deploy Pavis's portable shields, position them behind walls, and support them with infantry to keep attackers at bay. And where do they struggle most? Crossbowmen are ineffective in highly mobile, fast-moving battles, or where terrain prevents stable firing lines. Then, there are the slingers, unassuming at first glance, but don't be fooled. Their hands are quick, their aim unerring. With a twist of the wrist, a stone becomes a missile, unpredictable and relentless. Slingers turn rough ground into a killing zone, harassing, distracting, and wearing down their foes with every silent shot. So, what about slingers? Slingers are the quick, mobile missile troops, flinging stones with surprising speed and accuracy. They're cheap to train, and can be recruited from almost any region. And think, when do you use slingers? They are perfect for harassment, softening up enemy light troops, and disrupting formations on rough or rocky ground. Commander, what are their core strengths? Slingers move fast, reload quickly, and can operate in places where archers and crossbowmen would struggle, like rocky hills or narrow passes. And what are their main weaknesses? Slings have a shorter range and less penetration than bows or crossbows, making them ineffective against armored units or shield walls. Next question is, who do they dominate? Slingers excel at picking off lightly armored troops, harassing skirmishers, and causing chaos among enemy support units. Tell me, who can defeat them? Heavy infantry, cavalry, and any unit able to close the gap quickly will easily sweep slingers from the field. Think about how do you enhance their value? Deploy slingers on rough terrain or hillsides, let them operate as mobile harassers, and always keep them ready to retreat before the enemy reaches them. And where should slingers avoid fighting? Keep them away from open ground against armored foes and out of the path of cavalry charges. So, Commander, today you have learned the secrets of death, at a distance the strengths, weaknesses, and best deployments of archers, crossbowmen, and slingers. Use them to soften the enemy, break their spirit, and win the fight before the first clash of steel. In our next campaign, we mount up and thunder across the plains, exploring the power and purpose of cavalry, from the lightning-fast light cavalry to the unstoppable heavy knights, and even the elusive horse archers. Subscribe, bring your war questions to the comments, and sharpen your blade, because on the battlefield, only those who master every force claim victory. The next charge awaits Commander. Strength and honor